Hey guys, and welcome back to Dark Souls Remastered. My name is Rob. Last time we went through the undead Berg. Yeah, Berg, and made it to the undead parish. And I grabbed some items. I don't think I read the item descriptions of all of them, so let me go ahead and read some of those. I don't remember what all I actually read, so we'll just kind of briefly cover a couple things here. The mystery key resembles a basic prison cell key. I think I read this. Purpose is unknown, but it's like a prison cell, so yeah, it's already a big hint. The basement key opens the narrow passage leading below at the far face of the Great Bridge in the Undead Berg. The lower Undead Berg is a treacherous place. Do not turn your back on the wily thieves or the wild dogs who serve the Capper Demon. Yep, because the wily thieves can totally backstab you. So that's good to know. Apologize for my voice, or if you hear me sniffling a bit, I'm getting over a light cold. Not COVID or anything like that. Not flu, just a trifling, persistent little cold that won't get out of my head. But anyway, got the Drake's sword from chopping off the tail of the fire drake. The sword, one of the rare dragon weapons, is formed by a drake's tail. Drakes are seen as undeveloped imitators of the dragons, but in they are likely their distant kin. I don't know if that's the proper way to transition into it. Whatever. Anyway, the sword is imbued with a mystical power to be released when held with both hands. Do I have the stats to use the... I do. Yeah, I could demonstrate that, probably. But first, we read the Claymore. This larger type of greatsword is normally wielded with two hands due to its weight. This highly flexible greatsword can be used to attack in swings or thrusts. Not much to say there. The halberd. Long-hilted weapon, mixing spear and axe, is difficult to handle, requiring both strength and dexterity. The halberd has two elementary attacks, spear-like thrusting and large sweeping swings. However, one false swing and the wielder is left wide open. No joke there. I think that was probably it. Because the Taurus demon doesn't drop any souls or anything like that. No, like boss souls or anything, rather. Did I read the Hollow Warrior waistcloth? Waistcloth worn by hollow warriors. It is so tattered that it barely serves its purpose anymore. I've read that. Yeah. And just the two rings. Okay. That is most likely it. Let me show the Drake's sword. The Crutch sword. It's really strong, has 200 base damage, so it's great early on in the game, and it has a little projectile wind scar, Inuyasha kind of thing. Yeah. I mean, it's good. It's alright. It's just, it tapers off very quickly about halfway through the game, and you're better off investing in another weapon you find, like the Claymore, the Zweihander, the Halberd, any Black Knight weapons. Any of them. They are all excellent. Alright, so let's come over here first. Most of the time I just skip coming here to the Gates of Sin's Fortress on most playthroughs, but for the sake of the dialogue and all that fun stuff. The gate is closed. What are you doing here? You onion knight?
Oh, forgive me. I was absorbed in thought. I am Siegmeyer of Katarina. Quite honestly, I've run flat up against a wall, or a gate, I should say. The thing just won't budge, no matter how long I wait. And oh, have I waited. So here I sit, in quite a pickle, weighing my options, so to speak.
Oh, Sigmire. Are you dumb? Or are you just a coward?
Still closed. Still closed. Hmm.
Either way, he is incompetent. Because instead of going and trying to explore different options, or maybe trying to fight the gargoyles or whatever, he just sits here and weighs his options indefinitely until somebody else opens the gate for him. So, yeah. Anywho, let's go. Let's go speak to Andre. See what all nuggets of wisdom we can get from his dialogue.
Well, you must be a new arrival. I'm Andre of Astoran. If you require smithing, then speak to me.
For some reason, I can picture Andre smoking like either a cigar or like from a large, more likely from like a large ram's horn pipe or something like that, or bullhorn pipe. I can see him smoking tobacco of some sort. Get the hurrah gesture from Andre. Let's talk to him.
Most weapons and armor are mighty sturdy indeed, but every hunk of metal has its breaking point. If you notice durability running low, it's time to repair. You can ask a blacksmith like myself, or do it on your own with a grindstone. The nice thing about weapons, they never betray you, so pay them a little respect, eh? There are two types of weapon forging. There's reinforcement and there's ascension. Reinforcement is simple. It strengthens the weapon and nothing more. A simple task for any blacksmith. Hell, you could even do it yourself with a smith box. But ascension's a finer art. It alters a weapon's properties. Ascension is the territory of we blacksmiths. A smith box just won't do the trick. Start out with reinforcement. When that loses its charm, you can consider ascension. As you've noticed, this land is flush with the mad and wicked. You won't make it through the night without employing my services.
I am so glad that the future Dark Souls games streamlined weapon reinforcement and did away with like the ascension and everything. I much prefer the system of just having different gems or whatever to level up a weapon via a certain path, and otherwise just, you know, if you have the materials, you don't have to go get extra coals or anything. The smith can just do his thing. Well, I say that. I'm thinking of Dark Souls 2, where you have to get like one coal, but I'll take that back. You need the coals for a different reason, to reinforce them up a certain way, but to just reinforce them with Titanite, they can do that indefinitely. Anyway.
You can forge armor just like you do weapons. Forging armor is even easier than forging weapons. Whether you forge weapons or armor first, well, that's up to you. But nobody wants to see you go hollow. So whatever you do, you'd better do it well. You could forge an arm, whether you but nobody wants to see, so whatever you do.
It's funny. Alright, let's reinforce, we'll go ahead and reinforce the halberd, since I'm using it, and because it's so good. But really, you can't go wrong with any of the weapons I mentioned. Even if you want to use the winged spear. It won't be as strong as the halberd or the claymore, but it does still work really well. Go ahead and purchase another Titanite shard and reinforce it one more time. If you get your weapon up to +3, that's plenty good enough to take on the boss of this area. But since I have the souls, how many more can I buy? 4. Okay, I'll buy another 2 and reinforce it one more time. Yeah, now that is more than enough.
Don't get yourself killed. Neither of us want to see you go hollow.
Alrighty. So what do we have down here? Prowling demon. Should I go ahead and fight this guy? Sure, why not? I think I can take him. Do you think I can take him? I think I can. Whoa! Poke! Yeah, if you try and fight this guy without an upgraded weapon, you're in for a rough time. Basically, stick to the side that's not holding that Titanite catch pole. Yep. You can either roll through or under his attacks, or you can try to block them. Trying not to get stuck on the broken columns here. Oop. Ow. His tail has a hitbox too, by the way, so just be wary of that. Well, we got a stagger on him. Very nice. There we go. And he'll drop an item that you can't use for quite a while. Demon Titanite. Let's have a look at that item description. Special Titanite, stolen from a faceless stone beast known as a Titanite demon, also known as a prowling demon. When the nameless blacksmith deity passed from several When the nameless blacksmith deity passed from several slabs, great beasts arose. The power of Titanite remains within them, and they still roam Lordran today. That description doesn't really say what you use them for, though. I think they could have... I don't know. Anyway, it's used for reinforcing boss weapons, so there is that. And honestly, with those souls, I think I can buy 3 more Titanite shards and finish reinforcing this halberd to a +5, so... I mean, why not? Gonna be doing way more damage now. Way more than if I use those souls to continually reinforce strength or dex or whatever.
Don't get yourself killed.
Alright. I am gonna go ahead and reinforce multiple weapons for this playthrough. At least, you know, what I consider the holy trinity of Dark Souls 1's weapons. The Claymore, the Halberd, and the Zweihander, definitely. But I'll do, like, all my farming and stuff off camera. And try to just record the interesting parts, or... it may not all be interesting, but, you know, regular gameplay, we'll say, and dialogue and whatnot. Alright, so I went ahead and kindled that bonfire. That's a good one to kindle. This is in a really good location. Let's see. I've got a Firekeeper soul in my possession. And I think I still need to get the other Firekeeper soul that's up here. So, I'm going to do that. There we go. Whoop, don't you do it. Look at that. The Halberd's hitbox in this game is just ridiculous. Ridiculously good. Yeah, there he is. The Berenike Knight. First one you encounter in the game. Not exactly sure what he's doing here, lore-wise. But a lot of them are found in Sin's Fortress. I guess this guy just kind of got locked out. Yeah, he's not too terribly tough if you have an upgraded weapon. He hits really hard, but he also falls quite easily. Let's come over here to this altar. Underneath a statue of... could be... Gwen's mother, perhaps. I can't really tell. I think so. I think that's Gwen's mother holding a child, or possibly Gwen's wife holding the... No, it wouldn't be the Nameless King. It has to be, if it's within, like, the the pantheon that's revealed in the game, then it's got to be Gwen's mother holding Gwen, and Gwen is holding a sword, it appears. So, interesting there. Got another Firekeeper soul. I don't think it has a different... Nah, exact same description. Okay. So you come over here. It's a new enemy called a Channeler. He does not respawn, and he's sitting here watching this one area. Almost as if he's waiting for something to happen here. Interesting little commentary on that. But before we delve any further, let's go ahead and activate this elevator, which is a shortcut back to Fireland Shrine. Really gives the game that Metroidvania type of feeling when you unlock little shortcuts like this that interconnect the world with itself. Alrighty, let's see if anything's changed over here. Petrus is still...
Oh,
Petrus?
hello. I will teach you miracle. Very well. Undead kindling.
Okay, he doesn't have anything new to say.
Come again.
Do-de-do-do-de-do-do-do. What about you? Do you have anything new to say?
Don't you ever think to forge your weapons?
Well, yeah.
You'd better find a smith box soon, unless you enjoy swinging about with blunt instruments.
Funny he'd tell you that right after you speak to the main blacksmith.
How did that silly sorcerer's apprentice end up? You know, the one always prattling on about Master Logan. He left for the undead burg, but never came back. Serves him right. If even old Big Hat can't make it out there, what chance does he have? I hope he enjoys his new life as a hollow.
Yeah, he's talking about an NPC that we haven't met up with yet.
Hmm? What now? I'm not up for chatting. Leave me alone.
Alright, exhausted his dialogue once again. So let's go back up here. Do I have the bow equipped? I do not. Okay. Gonna do something about that. Let's see. Got a short bow, don't I? Yeah. Alright. I'm still mid-rolling, which is fine. It's fine for now. I know that the Berenike Knight does not respawn, but I'm curious if the other hollows respawn right after that. But I'll check on them in a little bit. First... Yep. What am I doing here? There we go. Yeah, you got that channeler up there, and he can throw soul arrows at you. He can buff all the enemies that are up there. You see there's some hollows in the background. There's a whole mob of them. And when you approach, he will usually cast a spell with his trident, which buffs all of the enemies there. And then you have a bunch of buffed hollows coming after you. So what you can do, draw back an arrow and aim directly for his head to get him to stagger. There we go. It doesn't do much damage, but... Oh, hang on. He didn't even retaliate. I'm kind of surprised. Gotta aim a little bit more to the left. Aim to the left of his head. Let's see here. Yeah, there we go. Should be able to stun lock him with that. And basically, if you just slowly shoot at him, whenever you get a headshot on an enemy, it does not change their position. It just makes them double over. But they don't, like, get knocked back or anything like that. If you continually shoot an enemy with arrows, if they're the size of, like, the channeler or something, they may slide back a bit and you have to adjust your aim. But if you keep aiming for the head, wait for him to stand back up. Yeah. And that just makes everything much, much easier. And he just... Man, he bounced. Alrighty. So, when you approach this way up here, there is that guy. You can always parry him. I kind of got lucky there. Threw it out early, expecting him to hit, and it just kind of... I thought I might have thrown that parry out a little too early, but I got him. So you get right here, and yeah. With a weapon like a spear, halberd, or if you two-hand the claymore, that works really well. Or if you just want to stand here and throw fire bombs. It all works really nicely for just grouping these guys together and taking them down. I need to let my stamina recharge a bit. Yeah, there we go. And look at there, a pile of hollows. Easy peasy. Come over here, there's another guy who's slumped over a window. Who knows why he decided to assume that position, but he did. We're actually inside of an old undead church. There's another Balder Knight. Between like the Balder Knights, the Silver Knights, the Black Knights, the Balder Knights were actually the hardest for me to learn how to parry, to learn the timing on them, because they're so fast. But if I can do it, anybody can. This guy's stuck in a barrel here, holding some humanity. Now he has no humanity. Alright. You got this door that looks kind of shoddy here. You just break that out of the way. Climb up these stairs, and oh look, I remember reading something about a key that works with a jail cell, and this looks like a jail cell, doesn't it?
Oh, still human, are you? Then I am in luck. Could you help me? As you can see, I am stuck without recourse.
Notice how this mysterious knight sounds very nonchalant in the way he asks us for help. I mean, he doesn't sound desperate or pleading or any some such. He just kind of, you know, could take it or leave it. Doesn't really care. It's just, you know, hey, can you help me out? Whatever. Who knows how long he's actually been locked up there.
Thank you. Yes, sincerely. I am Knight Lautrec of Karim. I truly appreciate this. And I guarantee a reward. Only later. Yes, very sorry. Your reward will have to wait. I've just been freed. Allow me some time. I am free. Now, I can get back to work.
Kind of sinister sound in there, isn't he? Really, he kind of sounds like he needs a glass of water, maybe. His throat sounds kind of dry. That's Lautrec. You can actually summon him for this boss if you're having trouble with it. You can summon him as well as Solaire. And if you stand back and let them fight, they can just about solo this boss. Alright. You climb up here. And there's Solaire's summon sign. Lautrec's summon sign will appear over here, but you have to travel back to Fireland Shrine after speaking to him. And then travel back to the Undead Church here, and his summon sign will be like over here somewhere. Basically, you have to get him to move to a different area. As a matter of fact, sure, why not? Just for the sake of seeing what his dialogue will be before killing the gargoyles. Yeah, let's do that. Run back down here. I don't know if y'all can hear it, but my neighbors let their freaking dog out into their backyard, and he's just going absolutely just bonkers dog shit. He just does not know what to do with himself, and he's barking nonstop. So, if that's being picked up in the audio, I'm sorry about that. Can't really do anything about it because it's not really shooting your neighbor's dog isn't really smiled upon. So, not saying I would shoot the dog. I might would think about it though. Yeah, one of the reasons I'm more of a cat person. I don't hate dogs, I really don't, but they just tend to do things that are more annoying to me than the things cats do. So anyway, it's like, hey, how did Lautrec get down here so fast?
Ah, hello there. I have your reward. Please, accept it. I am grateful to you for freeing me.
So it
Not
gives you
enough for you.
sunlight metal.
Well, let's not be greedy now.
It's like, Lautrec, why do you have to laugh in such a creepy way? Is it necessary?
You again. What is it? Our futures are murky. Let's not be too friendly now.
Alright, so the item he gave us, sunlight metal, a badge of the ultimate warrior. This faintly warm metal, engraved with the symbol of the sun, is the ultimate honor awarded to those who summon the warrior of sunlight and complete a goal. The symbol represents Lord Gwyn's firstborn, who lost his deity status and was expunged from the annals, but the old god of war still watches closely over his warriors. So, this medal is awarded to those who summon the warrior of sunlight and complete a goal. Sounds like somebody we may have met. The warrior of sunlight, soul heir. So did Lautrec summon Solaire for something, or some other warrior of sunlight, and then just decided to give us a sunlight medal? It's not a terrible reward. I mean, if you have, I think, 10 of them, and you give them to the Sunlight Covenant, offer them up, I think it gives you Lightning Spear, or something like that. Anyway, his dialogue isn't any different talking to him before killing the Gargoyles, so yeah, whatever. Let's just get on with it now. Enemies have respawned. Of course, if you don't want to parry these guys, you can always just attack them straight on with the halberd or whatever. As long as the Balder Knights with the rapier aren't in a parry stance, where they're holding their sword out in front of them, kind of pointing it at you, you can pretty well hit them without fear of any retaliation. Just know that they do have a good bit of poison. They won't stagger easily. Big hollow mob again. There we go. I got well, yeah, another broken straight sword. That's really all they drop, I think. Okay, so let's come back up here. We'll be able to see Lautrec's summon sign now. You don't have to talk to him. You only have to just go down to Fireland Shrine. As long as he has moved away from the area, there's his summon sign. So. And I know it's his sign because I'm playing offline. Alright. I'm actually not going to summon either of these guys because I just think it's more fun to fight the boss, personally. Alright. Let's walk forward here. Gonna get a cutscene. Bell Gargoyle who guards the bell. bell that we're supposed to ring as the chosen undead, which will do something. Ow. All we know is that according to the prophecy of the undead, we're supposed to ring it, and that's it. It's really much more ideal to be fast rolling for this fight. You can chop that guy's tail off, which is good to do because it gives you a free weapon, an axe weapon, and it keeps him from being able to hit you with his tail. But when he gets down to about 50% health, the other one shows up. Ow! Excuse you. Oh, you know what? I didn't upgrade my Estus Flask. I need to do that. Yep. The one that shows up with only about half of his health mainly breathes fire. So, not too much of a threat. Notice I'm not locking on to this boss. It's a lot easier, in my opinion, just to have free movement. Because you can't move as well when you're locked on. Alright, and then this one, as you can see, the halberd upgraded to a +5 does considerable damage to these guys, but really any +5 weapon that you want to use on them will do decent damage. But halberd, claymore, Zweihander, they all work wonderfully. And the Black Knight weapons, even without upgrading them, they work great. So, got a whopping 10,000 souls for that boss fight. Very nice. So I'm going to climb this long, long ladder here, which always reminds me of that scene from Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just Google MGS3 Snake Eater ladder scene, and I'm sure it'll come up on YouTube or something. To the very top of the bell tower. And let's pull the lever. Alright, we've rung one bell. And the next one is suicide, according to the Crestfallen Warrior. Alrighty, and then out of nowhere, there's this guy.
Greetings. I am Oswald of Karim.
Looks like he wants a hug.
The pardon. Thou art a friend. For thee, a warm welcome. Cometh thou to confess, or to accuse? For indeed all sin is my domain.
So you learned the single best gesture in the game. Well, what is it? Let's see. He doesn't talk, unfortunately, as far as, like, getting dialogue. You can abandon covenants through him, which is just a nice way of quitting the covenant and not getting kicked out if you want to join another one. The remaster kind of streamlined this process by letting you just switch covenants at a bonfire, so it's kind of obsolete, but it's there. You can request absolution if you have committed any type of sin. Based on your soul level, I think, is how many souls it costs to absolve your sins, but I have not sinned yet. You can purchase purging stones, ash-colored stone encasing a skull, secret treasure of our store, the Earl of Karim. Didn't he just say he was from Karim? Yes. Reduces curse buildup and breaks curse. Humans are helpless against curses and can only redirect their influence. The purging stone does not dispel curses, but receives them as a surrogate. The stone itself was once a person or some other being. That's eerie, to say the least. An indictment. Slip sold by Bishop of Velka, goddess of sin. If you are killed by an invader, use this to report the crime of that trespasser. The indicted player will be added to a list of unfortunate souls who will one day face the wrath of the Blades of the Dark Moon. So it seems that Velka has some commonality with Gwendolyn, who is the master of the Dark Moon Covenant. Seems like they kind of they seem to be working together in some way, which is interesting to me. Homeward Bone, we know what that is. And Book of the Guilty, online play item, checklist of indicted players. The goddess of sin, Velka, oversees this list of the guilty, who have disrespected the gods or their covenants, and shall one day face the wrath of the blades of the dark moon. So the goddess of sin, Velka, oversees this list. So it's almost as if she is the true master of the dark moon covenant, with Gwendolyn only being a stand-in to, communicate who joins and who doesn't. Very interesting. We get a miracle here, Karmic Justice. You need 20 faith, and you can use it 4 times. Miracle of the Black-Haired Witch Velka. Temporary auto counter versus heavy damage. It does like this big Wrath of the Gods type explosion after you've sustained enough damage. It's funny to troll people with it. For each sin, there is a punishment, and it is the task of Goddess Velka to define the sin and mete out the punishment. Yeah, I've used it a little bit, once or twice. It's not very practical at all, but you can have some fun with it. Then, of course, we got Velka's Talisman, which is a talisman for casting miracles, but does not scale with faith. It scales with intelligence, which itself doesn't sound very practical, but it does have its uses. Medium for casting miracles of the gods. This black tuft of hair that serves as a talisman belongs to Velka, goddess of sin. It casts miracles not by drawing upon faith, but intelligence. This is actually useful on a hybrid faith magic build, or faith intelligence build, where you prioritize intelligence, get it up to like 40 or 50, and only raise your faith to 28 or something to cast Wrath of the Gods. Then we get the Bloodbite Ring, one of the infamous bite rings commissioned by Sir Arstor of Kareem. Despite the dreadful rumors surrounding its creation, this ring is an unmistakable asset in its ability to prevent bleeding. And then we have the Poison Bite Ring. Despite the dreadful rumors surrounding this ring is an unmistakable ability to help prevent poison. So, yeah. The bite rings. A lot of stuff that has to do with Kareem. A lot of black we see. A lot of yeah.
Thou art welcome any
He's wearing black.
It is only human to commit a sin.
I just absolutely love that laugh. It's probably the best one in the game.
Greetings, and welcome back. I am pleased to see thee preserving thy humanity.
Yeah, his dialogue is a little different when you talk to him, whether you're hollowed or whether you're in human form. He makes a little comment. It's a shame you can't just get him to talk, because he seems like somebody who would really give some interesting commentary. Let's buy an indictment and see what he says.
Stocking up on indictments? How honorable of you.
Yeah, sounded very, very sarcastic with that remark. It's pretty funny. Let's see, 38 minutes, okay, yeah. Probably getting close to a stopping point here. Alright. I thought of something I do want to do before calling it. First and foremost, let's come over here to the bonfire and probably level up a bit. Or I could use my souls to buy upgrade materials and whatnot and upgrade the claymore. I might just do that instead. Decisions. Let me see. Let me check and see what my levels even are right now. 15 and 15, not bad. Let's give myself 10 attunement and 10 intelligence for now. And I think that'll probably be fine. There we go, yeah. Now I have an attunement slot, and I have enough intelligence to cast the most basic sorceries, which I'll use for the weapon buff to start off with. Let's talk to Andre some
Well,
more.
hello again. You seem to be doing all right. Need anything forged? This is the old church. It was abandoned in favor of the church that you passed through. There are paths leading from here to two forbidden plains, Sen's Fortress and the Dark Root Garden. They attract all sorts of lunatics, no one as cultured as yourself. It's fine to be undead, but keep a level head, eh?
I just love his dialogue.
Sen's Fortress is an old proving grounds built by the ancient gods. It is the only route leading to the great Anor Londo. Of course, most fools can't even find their way into that fortified death trap. But they won't stop trying. Take that bumbling Saranian.
Yeah. Laughing at Sigmaier's armor appearance, which is, that goes into the lore of that armor.
I know little of the Darkroot Garden, although I've heard rumors of a divine blacksmith who resides there. Those who get stumped in the catacombs seek him for divine weapons. I know little of, although I've heard those.
Yeah, the Darkroot Garden is that way. We're not going to explore that just yet, but soon. Alright, so I've got one Titanite shard. Can I buy 8 of them? I can. Yeah. Go ahead and use that to upgrade the Claymore, and I'll use it a bit. There we go.
Don't get yourself killed. Neither of us want to see you go hollow.
Yeah. I think the halberd does a little bit more damage. 165 and 154, yes. But you really can't beat the Claymore in its versatility. So I'm going to use this for a bit. And it doesn't whiff when you miss with an attack, so there is that too. Alright, so I'm going to go a little further, and then I'll call it. So I think I was doing some crunching the numbers, so to speak. And I think I know where a good stopping place will be. And I do need to go back to Fireland Shrine anyway. And upgrade my Estus Flask, which I'll do that off camera probably. Good old Claymore. And this running attack, so good. This thing is so good for crowd control. And it's so balanced. Like it's strong. It's not as strong as the Zweihander, but where the Zweihander is slow and you can miss a lot with it and it consumes a ton of stamina. Look at their Titanite shard. The Claymore doesn't have any of the drawbacks, really. I really can't think of any drawbacks of the Claymore. It really is that good. There we go. If you drop a Baldur's Shield or Side Sword, I'd be so happy. No. Of course not. If I want to get those items, I'm definitely going to have to farm for them, probably. There we go. Run back through this area. We've used the mystery key to free Lautrec. Now we're going to use the basement key that we got. Ow. Shooting me in the back. The nerve. Okay. And back to this bonfire. I wonder if I have this one kindled. Can't tell just by looking at it. I didn't think so. Should I kindle it? Meh. I don't know. Sure, why not? Might as well. It's a good idea, you know, especially during a first playthrough, to kindle most bonfires that you come across, because, you know, until you get, like, better at the game, because almost nobody is great at Dark Souls starting out. You need every advantage you can get, and having 10 Estus as opposed to 5 is such a good advantage. Right. When the dragon has flown away, I think he doesn't come back and... Oops, nope, I was wrong about that. He just comes right on back whenever he feels like it. Stupid dragon. I'll deal with you another day. Yeah, you sit there and you don't breathe any more fire. Okay, so, basement key. Opens up the door to the basement. Let's see, is Solaire still over here? No, he has moved on. I'm not really sure where, though. Alright, then you just hold down circle button and slide down this ladder. There's something so satisfying about sliding down a ladder that's that long. Alright, then you come out here, and this is what's known as the Lower Undead Burg, where all the thieves and the dogs and the goat demon reside. Yep, and that one-handed R2, it comes out so fast. You can hold a shield up and you can just take out these dogs. I'm not going to do this entire area in the video because we have already been recording for a while, but I'm going to do a couple of things here.
Somebody, please let me out of here. Somebody, anybody, help me. Unlock the door. Damn, I'm finished. How did this ever happen?
Well, let's just use the residence key and open this residence and... Ah, we got a wizard.
Brilliant. You opened the door for me. Thank you. I'm saved. I thought I might never escape. I am Griggs of Vinheim, a sorcerer of the school. I am much obliged for your assistance. Thanks to you, I may now resume my travels.
So how did he get locked in here, I wonder? And why can't he blast the door open with magic? I guess that's just not how things work.
Oh, hello. I'm fine. I will rest a while, then return to Firelink Shrine. I have my sorcery. And I will be more cautious next time. Besides, I have an important task at hand.
Yeah, apparently the disciple of a certain person named Big Hat Logan.
Oh, hello. I have my sorcery. Besides...
Interestingly enough, here he is, and there's a corpse in here with him.
Oh, hello.
Yep. If you'll be quiet and let me pillage the corpse, it has the sorcerer equipment. And a sorcerer catalyst. Now, he's not wearing the regular sorcerer stuff. He's wearing the black sorcerer set, but even so, looks like this room has been used to catch wizards before. Cloak worn by proper sorcerers who studied at Vinheim Dragon School. The majority take pride in having studied at the academy and look down on breaking the formal dress code established for sorcerers. Even though it looks so damn dorky. It really does. The other Dark Souls games did a much better job at the sorcerer outfits than Dark Souls 1 did. Yeah, it's all got the same description, really. Okay. And then the Sorcerer's Catalyst, I read that because you can buy one from Rickert of Vinheim at the beginning of the game, but here's a free one if you didn't have one already. So, got that done. So now, another thing you can do when you first run in, if you are quick and you run back here and roll into this corner, you can stand in front of the fire and the dogs will just jump into it trying to get you and they'll all die. So, just something to keep in mind there. Alright, so there is a shortcut here that's going to lead back to the upper Undead Burg. Let's go up these steps. And look at here. The door didn't open from the other side, but it opens from this side. Get out of here. Shoot. Stupid undead. And he dropped something for me. A longsword. I already have a longer sword, so I don't need the long sword. Whoa! He did the hollow warp through space and time to try and get to me. There we go. I don't know why they designed the regular hollows to be able to do that. It's funny. Hollow warrior helm. I don't think I had that before. Let's see. Helm worn by hollow warriors. Although it is made of iron, it is old, battered, and worn out. It is wise to wear a sturdy form of head protection against arrows and other... Yeah, okay. Alrighty, so come full circle back around to this bonfire. And this is where I'm going to call it for this part. So thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you soon with more Dark Souls Remastered. Until then, y'all take care.